Okay, so we're going to start with the intro to all the parts. So over on the left here, we have all the parts, so all the categories, sorry. The motors, movement, display, sound, events, control, sensors, operations, variables, and then my blocks. And so here at the bottom, you can see we have a tab that says all or fewer code blocks. So we want to select all code blocks, right? It'll show up like this. And that just makes sure that you can see things like the gyro sensor or the buttons. So we'll start with the motors. So these control what all the motors do. You can also take the motor's degrees, how many degrees the motor has rotated. You can run the motor for rotations, or you could just start it in general forever. For movement, this is going to be just the wheels. So the B and C, so this is how you set the movement motors. We're going to most likely have ours on A and B, but usually it's B and C. So this is how you move. You can move at an angle at whatever speed. This is the tank steering, if anybody remembers that. Percent speed for both motors. For display, so you can display a image, got all these images. And then you can write, and then you can clear it, and then you can set the light to a color. Sounds, this is pretty simple, just playing a sound, setting the volume, etc. Now events, this is how, so this is where your program starts, and then you could have this out to detect when this sensor sees red, this program starts. That's the same with all of these. When the gyro angles is this, plays, when the center button is pressed, goes. And this one you can make your own when logic. And then you can also do a timer. For control, this one's going to be used a lot. You have your wait blocks. You can wait seconds, or you can wait until something happens. Then you can repeat something. You can repeat it forever. Or you can repeat it a number of times. You can repeat it forever. Or you could repeat it until something happens. You could also do an if-then block and an if-then-else block, which are useful because it can say, if this happens, then you do this. If not, just keep moving. And then you have stops at the bottom here. The sensors are really useful. You can have a true or false statement here to see if something is true or false. You can also take out a value from each of these sensors, color, if it's pressed, proximity, angle. Now we're into operations. So pretty simple, just adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. And then logic here, if it's greater than, equal to, less than. Here it's if both of these things are true, if one of these things are true, or if it's not true, if it's not this. And then this is also for display. You can conjoin words and sentences together. And then these we probably won't use very much, but this is just rounding. And then this is a lot of more advanced math, sin, cos, tan, etc. Variables are useful. They're things that stay constant throughout the whole program. To make one, click make a variable, name it, I just named it x. So then you can set x to some number. You can also take the value of x here. And then you can change that variable as well. And then the my blocks, it just runs a string of code all in one condensed block. And so I'll get into that later. But other than that, that's about it.